Okay.
All right, all right,
Let's do it.
all right. Testing, testing. Talking to your mic.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi. How are you guys?
All right, here we go.
We are in
Yeah. Well, we only got a little bit of time, so
Okay.
let's do this.
Let's do this.
Hello, everybody. It's Mark and Marcelo with another episode of Mark and Marcelo. We're here at the Patek Philippe exhibition. I don't know the name of this thing. Let me pull my phone out of the pocket because I have a little app that came along with this.
I think this is the Patek Exposition Museum. They do normally they do this kind of events once a year in different countries. If I'm not mistaken, they did it in Dubai. I think last year they did it in Hong Kong. I think this year is here in Japan. And by the way, is the first time ever that Patek take the biggest amount of the watches from the Geneva Museum.
Yes,
outside,
it is.
out overseas, outside of Geneva. So Japan is the first country ever to get the biggest amount of
All right.
exposition watches.
So before you get too deep inside of it, let me do my introduction, which might be
Yeah.
a lot more cleaner than his. The
Okay.
title of this event is called Watch Art Grand Exhibition, Discovering the World of Patek Philippe. And this event took place from June 10th until June 25th of 2023. And right now we're inside of Shinjuku Sankaku Hiroba. This is a Sumitomo building, the first floor.
And we are in the last, one day before the last. Tomorrow is Sunday, the 25th. Today is the 24th. So, and tomorrow is the last day of this event.
All right, so here goes the information about this event. Patek Philippe requests the pleasure of your company at Watch Art Grand Exhibition, a truly exceptional event that offers the public a rare insight into the world of watchmaking within our family-owned company. After a long time awaited by many watch lovers and Patek Philippe enthusiasts, the Watch Art Grand Exhibition takes place in Japan for the first time. It demonstrates the importance of Japan to Patek Philippe with a 2,500 square meter exhibition, the largest ever organized by the brand.
Yeah.
The exhibition takes visitors on a journey through the world of Patek Philippe, its historic Geneva headquarters, the workshops, and the museum. And here goes the final paragraph here. Our new commemorative collection is showcased together with over 400 unique and historic timepieces celebrating tradition of innovation and independence, art and craftsmanship, aesthetics and passion, values that have defined the Patek Philippe brand since 1839.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. They look so friendly and warm by
does.
the exposition explanation that you just read.
Yes, it does.
But they are not
Yeah.
that warm and opening the way it sounds. You know.
Right.
They're pretty kind of.
You could say that word if you want to say it. Just don't say the F-bomb. But
Like assholes?
yeah, they're assholes.
Yeah, pretty much assholes. A very snobby event, I can say. I mean, 50% of the people here are VIPs. The other 50 are super VIPs.
Right. Instead of calling
And,
it Watch Art, they should have called it Reeks of VIP.
Yeah, and we did see a lot of people with extraordinary expensive rare Pateks
Right.
on their wrists. Like we're talking Nautilus, World Times, Aquanaut. I mean, everything that we dream of getting, they already have it. So it was like they were looking in the window and go, oh, this is nice. By the way, I'm wearing my Platinum Daytona.
And I'm wearing the same thing that I usually wear, the Explorer 2.
Yeah, but I'm wearing a Platinum Daytona as a FU show-off watch that, comparing to the people around here, it look like I'm wearing a G-Shock.
Okay.
So,
I'm not
it's
sure.
very frustrated.
Well, listen, your
very
watch,
frustrated,
your
you know?
watch is just as expensive as theirs.
No, but no. here is
Whether from the boutique
No.
or from the secondary market, your
here
watch
is
is
it.
just as expensive
Okay,
as theirs.
here is the thing. The watch itself, this Platinum Daytona is expensive as some of the watches that we saw comparing to a Nautilus, comparing to a Wall Time.
Yeah,
yes,
for sure.
But the difference is that for you to get a Nautilus that maybe was even the half price of this one, you need to buy half of the boutique, like spending maybe like $1 million just to get that watch.
Right.
You know, so it's completely different. I mean, in regarding of relationship and regarding of it's almost unattainable. It's almost impossible to get a lot of the watches that we saw.
Yes.
I mean, like 99.9% of the watches we saw is unattainable.
Well, it's just about as hard to get from them as it is from Rolex.
No.
You want to say?
No. And I'm sorry, yes, you know that I have a relationship with one boutique, but regarding that, they still look at you. They still give you the option of you getting. By the way, you are very close to get the Explorer 1. You know that.
Yeah.
Forget about this with Patek. Patek, they wouldn't even look
I'm looking
at
for
you.
a Submariner, not an Explorer 1.
Yeah,
but I'll take anything Rolex gives me, to be honest.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Rolex still can look at you, you know, and one day she can come to you, hey, what do you think about the Datejust? You still can say, okay. Here, they wouldn't even offer you Calatrava.
Yeah, right.
It's like nothing. Yeah, that was very frustrating. I felt very.
I just felt frustrated being inside of this place. It was very snobby.
Yeah,
It was ultra snobby.
yeah, you would.
And they got ultra VI, super ultra VIPs running around this place. And
It's talking about the V.
Yeah.
Continue like 100
V's, yeah. And there's actually people that are personal tour guides
Yeah.
for people that are already purchasers of the brand that are thinking about their next piece. So they're chauffeuring these guys around, individuals chauffeuring another individual around, showing them different pieces, saying, oh, this one does this one has this musical chime to it, and yeah, just giving the play-by-play of all of these watches so that they could think, this is where I'm going to spend my next $100 million on this one.
Yeah.
Right. And man, half of these, I'm not even sure if I want to say that, man. It makes me feel like I'm racist or something. Half of these people inside of here are not even Japanese. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
It's a bunch of people from somewhere else with a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of them actually look at us right now.
Yeah,
what the hell are we doing now?
Pushing their weight around, man. Holy shit. I'm like, damn.
By the way, guys, soon, I mean, Mark, in this video going to add, we have a live footage of what's going on in Geneva in a screen that is probably 1,000 megapixels. I mean,
Yeah, probably.
How many pixels?
I don't know, but it's a high resolution screen. Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah, right behind us to my right, only about,
Yeah.
maybe 20 meters or so, there's a big screen that's about a theater size, and it's showing Geneva live.
Yeah, it's like...
It's nice. I'll show it to you.
It's like insane. I mean, could they turn?
No, you're not gonna turn. I'm just gonna intercut the footage inside, overlay it.
So,
You guys will see it.
You guys going to see it. It's like ridiculous. Wow, that was tiring.
It
By the
was
way,
tiring.
We been like 1 hour and a half, I think, and I feel like I was here like 20 hours.
Right. So, with them having over 400 pieces on display, I tried to run through here and take one photo of every single watch that they had, and I think I covered a little bit more than half. But by the time that I made it, like, to 3/4 in, I just got tired, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Okay.
I'm not playing this game.
Okay, guys, listen. Completely not related to this video at all, to basically what we're talking about. I am a chef. Yesterday in my restaurant I was actually preparing some sausage. Not that it's interesting for you guys, but I was from 10 o'clock in the morning making this sausage. It came up to be like 300 sausage. Up to 2 o'clock in the morning, working all this day doing this sausage. It was a hassle of a work. I'm super tired of it. Today here, 1 hour, I felt the same.
Right.
You know, this is basically to for you guys to understand. I am tired in 1 hour here watching these watches like yesterday, working 16 hours making sausages.
Right.
You know? It was.
Yeah, it's exhausting being here. And
Yeah.
and to my left, which is also off camera, there's also a gift shop inside of here that has like an exhibition type book that shows all of the exhibition pieces
By
that they
the
have
way,
inside of here.
by
Let
the-
me finish what I'm going to say.
Yeah, yeah.
They have a book that has all the pieces that they display inside of the book so that you can read about each piece individually,
No.
but it's only in Japanese,
But
unfortunately.
one more thing. I mean, you can put it in this video or not, but we should buy it because also.
Buy the book?
Yeah, yeah. Because mommy also told me this is going to be
A collector's
collectible.
item?
Of course, of course.
If you
So-
buy, listen, I
And
gotta
it's
give you some advice. If you buy a book for yourself,
I'm going to buy now.
yeah, don't really read it and don't really touch it too much, because I'm looking.
I see.
You
They
know,
keep it as a collectible piece.
they have one display book, right? You
Yeah.
know, the rest of them are inside
I
of
see.
plastic. Let me finish. All of them are inside of plastic, but they got one that's a display book so that you could flip
you
through.
can know
this.
what's going on inside.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
The cover of it has like some little gold foil font on there. You know, it says
Yes,
Patek
yes.
Philippe in gold. I noticed that the gold is starting to flake off on the cover. So if you touch it too much,
Oh, I understand.
yeah, it's going to start to flake off. So then the book is going to be kind of worthless. Or it won't be worthless, but it'll be not worth as much as what it
Yes,
would be.
I understand.
I think it's only an issue with the cover, not the actual inside pages, but still, to see that
What?
that book is cheaply made.
What is nice about this book is that whoever is super VIP equivalent to get one of the Pateks here, probably during this year, is probably going to miss this book, and maybe I can be the ask, so they're going to offer that guy the book for premium. So,
Right.
you know, I
Right.
cannot get a watch, but at least I can get a book that's going to sell over retail.
You know what? I might just do that. I might get
You
the
know?
book, and about a year from now,
Yeah,
when the
get
when
the
the value
book
of the
over
book
retail,
goes
yeah.
up, you sell it for more.
Yeah.
Chuck this sucker on Mercari and see how much money I can make, or eBay.
Yeah, let's do that.
I just might. So would you be buying 2 books or 1 book?
But I think they have several books, right?
No, I think it's just 1.
Only one?
I think it's only 1 book.
Okay.
But would you be buying 2 of the same book?
I don't know. Could be. Hey, come here.
Yeah, this is my friend right here, man. He's off
So,
camera. What's up, man? I ain't seen you in a long time, bro. I
How you
know.
doing, buddy?
I saw you inside there. I didn't want to bother you too much.
That's why I thought too. You guys were busy.
Listen,
Yeah.
what is your... You know, you can come
Yeah.
sit with us.
Yeah, you're gonna be on a YouTube video if you're gonna sit down.
Yeah, and
I could
just
put
tell
one of them
us
mosaics on your face like they do in the
What
everyone.
what you think about all this bullshit?
Oh, you can take this.
Hold on.
Really? Well, I kind of like the vintage stuff.
I like the vintage stuff too.
There were some pieces in there that I thought were just amazing. Some of the old pieces, just the craftsmanship and the design and the specialty. I just thought, like, even the pieces that they had for the ladies, like, how much money did you spend on your honey at that point in time? Get that. Like, wow. And then there's just pictures of the royalties, and you'd be like, they had slaves. They got that for free. Got it. So.
Man, that was painful to see. I saw watches there that it's like, look, we know there's a lot of rich people in the world, but damn, this is not a hobby for poor people.
Well, like my son always says, if you have your shit together, it's yours. You know
Right.
what I mean? I don't look at it like that. I look at it like everybody deserves something beautiful.
Right.
You understand? And in order for them to display that opulence, someone's got to pay for it.
Yeah,
All right?
definitely.
Whether they had the means by honest hard work or
Right.
gotten some other way, someone paid for them to create that beauty.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at them for that. I celebrate that. But yeah, there's some pieces in there like me and my wife, we had looked at some sections. I was like, yeah, we could take all of those. Those are adorable. She was like, right? But like you said, though, for the average folks, you know what I mean? We get to sit back and enjoy.
Yeah, man. When I was running through the place, man, it just after so much time, it just started reeking of VIP for me, and I was like, man. Even as much as I love collecting watches, I was like, I just don't feel right being here. These people, it's like, I just can't even put it into
you're
words.
wearing a Rolex as well, right?
No way. I can't afford that. But it doesn't mean that I don't inspire to do those things. You know what I mean? I love the beauty of it. You know what I mean? That's what it boils down to me. It does reek of VIP, very high privileged individuals.
And we saw, you know, it's like almost 80% Chinese here and other countries as well. Everybody with their escort, VIP,
Personal escort.
Personal escort. I mean,
Listen here, right?
you know, it doesn't even go to how much is it? It's like, I like it, I take it. I
That's
want
the way
it.
it's supposed to
You
be.
know?
For me, like, why not me? You know what I mean? It's that whole thing of why not me? Some people, they have the mindset of like, oh, how could I ever have something of that magnitude, or that's not for me. But in actuality, it's something that we all truly inspired to have. If you had the ability, which we do have deep down inside, to show that part of us.
You know, something about Mark. Mark is actually, I mean, yeah, we talking about watches, but we're also talking about luxury things like suits and whiskey.
Wonderful.
And Mark is very much into whiskey. And
Like to drink it as much as possible.
listen, and 2 weeks ago, we've been to in Ginza. They actually had a whiskey
Museum.
Yeah.
Man, I saw. How am I going to put it into perspective? I have watches that cost thousands of dollars. And it was bottles of whiskey that cost basically 10 times more than my watch. You know, I nearly was looking in my watch and looking in a bottle and say, man, you can just drink now. Is that
There's a platinum Daytona.
Yeah.
What?
Platinum Rolex Daytona, yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay, you see this? I saw a glass that take this out of the water. A glass, you just drink it and you throw it the watch.
Essentially, so
It's like it's like $500,000 bottle, $500,000 bottle. Of
well, one of
whiskey,
those bottles,
juice.
one of the bottles were $1 million. The 55,
One was $1 million for juice. Imagine that. Now, hey, again, I get it. If you can afford it, and you're probably not going to live forever, and it would be nice for you to die one day knowing that you drink $1 million whiskey.
Okay, here we go.
But you know,
Did you purchase your watch for an investment or just a showpiece?
wow. In my case, I got the watch as investment because I unfortunately don't make that much money, and the watches for me is also a piece that I want to enjoy wearing it, and when I'm going to sell it, I still can get a little bit more than I paid for, even so that I could get way more if I wouldn't wear it at all and put it just in the safe. But of course I want to enjoy the piece, so I do wear the piece, even so that I lose much more because I scratched the thing, I read the thing, but you know, still something that I wanted to enjoy.
I feel you. It's like if a person buys a Ferrari and they never drive it.
Yeah, so I want to enjoy it, and you know, comparing
Each
to
his own prerogative.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Comparing to somebody that just stick it in the safe and never even knew what you have, and one day, oh, solid. Why you bother to us? You know, like enjoy it. You know.
I don't know. Like for me, if a particular item has a historical or it's going to be something that's noteworthy in the future, possibly, I can understand putting that away because maybe it's not my selfishness to take that away from other people to enjoy the freshness of it, or just the way it's made, or for them to enjoy that. So to be a connoisseur at that point in time, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that.
It's a nice perspective, a nice way to look at it, yeah.
What is your thoughts?
Yeah, hook me up with the mic, man.
You're the one that drinking whiskeys for thousands of bucks.
Yeah,
Delicious?
yeah, it is. It is delicious, but
Can I taste it?
but at some point in time, the return on investment, is that the word that I'm looking for? Just
ROI?
I don't think that's what I wanted to say necessarily. Just, you know, the taste can only go up and improve so much based on the price that you're paying in to get it. Yeah, your return investment is not. It's gonna. I just can't look. I can't find the words right now. It's on the tip of my tongue.
It reminds me of ETFs.
Yeah. You think so?
Well, you know, how much is a company truly worth? Now, if you have every individual, all these wonderful people walking around, and they know that they're chasing a return, right?
Yeah. Right.
They're going to pour their money into that same particular ETF.
Look, I also had a millionaire, kind of a very rich customer. I have a restaurant, so I have a customer who came, and we talk about watches, and they look in my watch and how much it costs. And I told him, and then he's like looking like, you know, in his head, he's like, last week I went to probably Dubai, business class, and went to the hotel. It's probably the price of your watch. So I'm like, so,
Is that what we call pocket watching?
I don't know. I guess so, right? I mean, you own something that for you is so precious and expensive, and you work your ass off, you spend so much money, and you were looking at this every day, like, wow, look how much money I have, and then you have a guy that basically for him is a bus ticket and you know, like a ticket in a hotel, right?
Right.
Is that Mark? Do you think that's pocket watching or what? We gotta be real about this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, so you're just an average person, and you're like, well, I want to buy this usable car with the leather seats, the sunroof. I want to put some rims on it and a little spoiler kit on it. You know what I mean? I increased the sound system on it. You gonna hate on them too? We got to put it in perspective.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Average person is doing a big thing.
Yeah.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? That's big. You know what I mean? And another person that they're able to do these exotic things that we just like, wow, that's amazing. I just look at it all as perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Ultimately, I guess my final message is this. Man, I'm forgetting everything that I wanted to say. When I drink the whiskeys that I drink, the expensive ones, I just look at it like life is too short to waste, so I just want to enjoy it. Not caring about how much it's going to be worth. I just get it and I open it immediately, and I just start delving into it, man, because I'm not going to get another opportunity. I don't want to just put it inside of a glass cage and just stare at it on the shelf as a collector's item. I mean, what good is that going to serve me in life? Just looking at this thing as a display piece.
Well, you have a good memory of drinking the whiskey, same as I have a good memory going to a movie theater and watching a nice movie, I guess, and remember what I saw, and I pay a ticket to go see it.
Yeah, I'm trying to make memories for myself, but it's not so much of a memory if it's just going to be lingering there, nothing happening with it. It's not moving.
I think alcohol is a consumable, like an edible or something.
Right. Well, I consider everything a consumable. I mean, I don't mean I'm going to eat the watch, but I mean,
That's what I mean.
I'm
That's
talking about
different.
usage. Yeah.
Yeah, cigars,
So,
everything.
like, you guys watches are on point. You know what I mean? They're fabulous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's all relativity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? People who can afford the watches in there, they sit down with us, you might look at their watch and say, oh, wow.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I
But
would.
mine
would.
is just what? Tokyo brand.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just Tokyo brand. It still tells you time. I'm still chilling.
Right.
I'm
Right.
out here with you guys, cooling out. It's a wonderful day. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? So it's like, again, for me, if it was a Ferrari GT 250, I'm not touching it.
You're not touching it.
No.
You don't want to take it to the track and just open it up.
Are you crazy? Why would I do
No,
that?
I want to get some scratches on there, crash it a little bit.
Hell no.
You die happy, man.
I wouldn't die happy. I'd be disappointed with myself.
You would die. You would die. You would
I
die.
would be disappointed in myself. Like, that car will be here long after I'm gone. Okay?
Right.
That particular piece of history, that elegance, that beauty, the craftsmanship with it. You know what I mean? It's like someone who takes a Ferrari Enzo and they put their work on top of it.
Right.
You're like,
Oh, that's kind of, yeah.
You know, it's like,
Why are you destroying it?
that's,
Yeah,
that's
but
Enzo. Who are you?
Look,
You know, if the car was
to turn it
crashed
into
up and
Mark, yeah.
if it was crashed up and
Right.
you had to fix it back up, please put your touch on it. You brought it back to life. But if it's just a true piece of artwork, I don't think that we should alter it because we didn't put in the idea that it didn't come from our imagination to put our touches on it. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like if someone makes a painting and they take an eraser and they put their own work on it, you're like, yeah, what the hell did you just do? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I feel about certain things.
Right. But you don't want to give it the Paul Walker effect, die how you live fast.
No,
All right.
no.
All right.
That's just my prerogative. You know what I mean? If I went around the track, I might open it up a tiny bit on the straightaway, and that's about it. That is about it. I would like to smell it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If the right people were videotaping it and it people got to see it and hear it, that's like me sharing with them. So the social responsibility that I feel like I would have to do for every day. If I had this, right?
Right.
And you guys liked it.
Right.
And I crashed it up. Y'all be that. Yeah. You guys would lose your mind.
Right.
Be like, yo, let's go run him over.
Yeah, but I mean, with all the respect, especially in mechanical devices, going back to mechanical watches up to even Ferraris and
Cameras and other such things.
I guess I understand how much Genzo Ferrari could make in the F40 that it was his, I think his latest piece of art.
His last
one is amazing. Is a lot of effort that he put in that car. Who actually can afford that car? I think he would appreciate, of course not crashing it, but at least race it and touch it and change the gears and put the car in the limit, because I think this is actually the work that he actually built for you. Not to just put it in a museum. By the way, how
Let
much
me be
power.
extremely bougie for a second. Extremely bougie. Like, for me, personally, I would be like, listen, someone find me Lewis Hamilton, please. Lewis, my man, I love you. Please. Take this around for the folks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And Lewis is going to do his thing. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure that
Like a professional, bring it up.
he's a professional in all aspects, you know what I mean? He truly understands the value, you know what I mean? He's at that part of his life, you know what I mean? He can't do anything but appreciate artwork, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure it'll scream coming down the back stretch if people would take pictures, but I don't think Lewis would want to crash anything up like that. He'd be extremely careful with it and do a beautiful interview, and everybody would continue to love him. If he crashed it, they'd be like, look, my man, we didn't expect that from you. You understand?
All right, man. It's been a good talk, man. You need to meet up with the wife. She was calling you off camera there.
Yeah, I don't want to catch an
So
IGN.
you guys are in Japan? They're living in Japan?
Yeah, I've been here for quite some time. Part of the furniture here.
Yeah, not moving anytime soon. That's right.
I hope so. I hope so.
I hope not.
So.
Oh, you hope so to move or hope so not to move?
I hope so to move.
Oh.
This is a beautiful world. Why?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. I understand.
Come on, we also were stuck. I'm stuck
Yeah, but
here living like
I'm just saying I feel safe here. That's why I don't want to move. That's probably the only reason.
Japan is quite safe. You know, for the people out there listening, it is safe. I mean, you come to Japan and leave the BS behind, especially if you're coming from the hood.
Yeah, from the Bronx,
Hey,
man. I ain't trying to
talking
go
about-
back to the Bronx.
Talking about the hood, yes, Japan is safe, but as you know, you're probably here for several years. You know that you have the shady areas and places that, yeah, if you're not careful, you're going to get mugged and you're going to get
But, you know what I'm saying? But at this point in life, you know, why would you want to associate with that nonsense? Why do you want to even go around it?
Yeah, why do you need to walk through that neighborhood of Kabukicho or whatever?
I'm looking right past that like, I'm sorry, this is Japan. You're trying to tell me I have to go see that part of Japan?
Sure.
I'm sorry. I'm not going over there. You know what I mean? There's no need. I'm like, it sucks to be you.
Yeah, I don't want
Keep
my
it
friends in
moving.
New York inviting me back
No,
to see their hood. I'm not trying to see your hood.
Because we're talking about, you know, with people around the world,
Right.
and people might come to Japan. Hey, Japan is safe, you know. Let's, you know, go everywhere in Japan is great, but you know,
Right,
they need to
right.
look. Even if you know, talking even about the state, even in the state, there is places that I can put my jewelry in the table and nobody going to touch it. You know, if you go to the right
where's
place.
that?
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that in the
Where's
States.
that?
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with this story, but yeah, give us the end of it, of what you're trying to say, because I'm not believing that.
I will have to second that motion, Mark.
All right. Let's bring this thing home, man. Let's wrap it up. What is your final thoughts of this show that you saw today, of this exhibition?
Well, for me, I really thought that the craftsmanship from yesteryears was amazing. I loved it. Just the detail and how much effort it took to make those pieces. And zooming up to the up-to-date stuff, it was very nice. Some of it was definitely like Beyonce, Jay-Z type level stuff there. That, wow, I was like, look at that. But all in all, I like the older stuff.
Well,
All right, Marcelo, don't go off on a tangent. Final takeaway from today's exhibition.
Final
What did you think?
takeaway with all the respect of Jay-Z, and I love the guy like hell, and he have super expensive pieces. I think there is some pieces here that they would have a hard time dealing with some of these guys, you know, like
Right.
I mean, some pieces are completely unattainable. Wow. Well, it was beautiful event, but I did felt a pain in the chest. I might say.
What was the pain for?
The Jay-Z pain, you know, like this kind of pain that you know, even being that high, you cannot get some shit. Not even mention myself. So it is painful. It was painful.
You can't get it, right?
Yeah.
It's unobtainable. All right. Yeah.
What you think?
That's what he said. I'm just. That's not what I.
I thought it was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it
You know
was.
what I mean?
It was.
Like, I'm a very man of very simple means. You know what
Right.
I mean? And I just thought it was beautiful.
He was.
I mean, it's a wonderful day. Come out, enjoy with the wife.
Yeah, she's off to the left somewhere. She may have even exited the building, but
Nah, she didn't do that.
Yeah, talking about the wife, what the wife thought about this? I mean, seeing especially the lady pieces, that was probably like, what the hell?
We have a similar background, financial, you know what I mean? And she wasn't very interested to come, but when she got a chance to view these pieces, she was like, they were gorgeous. What are you getting me?
Wow.
all right. I'm gonna take it home. Yeah. For me, I'm just kind of feeling indifferent. It reminds me of the whole sub that went down yesterday, right? You paid $250,000 to lose your life,
And an experimental.
On an experimental, but not even getting all into that. You think about how this money could have been used. Hold on. Yeah, you missed a lot. I'm not even. No, we're not even talking to you about that. 300 migrants went down inside the Mediterranean, and you think about how this money could have been used to help these folks. When I start putting money into perspective like that, I'm just starting to look at stuff like this and just think it's kind of a waste of life. And then it makes me reflect upon myself. What am I doing with my finances? I don't need to be interested in any of this stuff, and I don't need to really be partaking in buying any of it too. So I feel indifferent when I go inside there. It just reeks of VIP, and it just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth.
So like, my wife and I, we had spoke about the submarine. It was a loss of life regardless.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I don't want nobody dying regardless.
Yeah, but I did. I had similar thoughts to yourself. I was like, well, me, with that kind of money, I'm on the beach looking at. And I'm cool, and I'll be home. I ain't touching nothing, but I'm definitely like, wow. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. Can I get a whiskey and yeah, that Cuban would be nice too. Hey, I'm cool.
You know, I told you about that when they're going to sell this piece, what they're going to do, right?
He's thinking about selling a watch inside of his 70s, and he's going to travel around the world with the money. But
no, go before 70s. Why 70s?
Right.
What is the value in a watch like that?
Wow.
The gray market value now,
Well,
because not many people.
Is the blue face a special one?
Yeah, this is a special one.
This is a special one.
Right.
I think
The gray market value.
gray market.
What is gray market value?
All right, let me explain this real quick. So the authorized dealer is going to sell it to you for MSRP.
Yes.
They will sell this watch to you for $75,000 and not a penny over. This is how much it costs if you get it from Rolex.
Yes.
But less than 1% will be able to get it from Rolex because they only have a finite number of pieces of this that they make.
Can you get on a waiting list or something like that?
In Japan, yeah, that's too long of a story to get into. But long story short, let's just say no.
Okay.
No, you cannot. They're going to sell it to their VIPs that already have a history with them, that have bought pieces from them before. So the best way to get this watch is somebody that bought it from Rolex and then they sold it to the gray market so that they can make a profit for themselves.
Excellent.
So a secondhand store, how much is this going to cost?
I think
20 million?
Yen?
Yeah.
So
He's saying
$18,000?
No, No. Your math is so bad.
Why? 20 million. 20
$20
million.
million, $200,000. Dollars, yeah.
A little bit less, but yeah.
Okay.
Nissan?
No, that's more like $150,000. $150,000.
Double the price of the retail.
Double the price of the retail.
Okay.
You talking about these people in there? What are you talking about?
Well,
Same difference, you know what I'm saying?
you know, going there with this piece, I felt like I was wearing a G-Shock.
What are you talking about, man? We're rocking.
But he wants to sell the watch, and he's just gonna travel around Europe and the world. And why just Europe? Yeah, that's his goal. And what age do you want to start doing that by?
Maybe on my 60s already.
All right.
Retirement.
And he just turned 50, and he got this watch for his 50th birthday.
Oh, fabulous. Fabulous. Great present. Great present.
So yeah, it is a great watch. I enjoy it. But again, I mean, even what you mentioned before, when you can sell it for double price that I bought, this is when the watch actually staying in a safe, untouched, unwear. When you do wear the watch, and you know what I do with the watch, I scratch it, I hiking with it, everything. So yeah, I'm probably going to sell it probably close to the retail, maybe a little bit more than retail, but very close. So I'm losing this 70 plus K over just because I wear it, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
You know, because I wanted to enjoy the piece.
For me, it would be a special occasion.
Yeah.
For me, only. I'd be breaking it out when, all right,
Anniversaries,
that's it. If I need to go
black
somewhere, and
tie
I,
events, right?
and I need to represent, I'd break that out myself personally. I wouldn't wear it as an everyday.
Plus Sarah Front.
Right. Oh, especially.
You know,
I
a lot
believe
of
that,
Sarah
yeah.
Front, you know, just kind of make sure
Put some rap on there. Anyways, man, I need to wrap up this video. It's too long, man. Wrapping it up, taking it home. Anyways, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Salute to you wherever you may be out inside the world. And as always, gentlemen, you guys know what to do. Keep it classy. We're out.
Yeah, right.
Good place to end it. All right.
Yeah,
It was a good, nice times, Marcelo.
Finally.
that was a long